Darling and Grit. I'm Brian.
I'm Ashley.
And we're going to be walking you through doing our rabbit cage build and our rabbit stand build. We are getting everything paired up. You'll see the full walkthrough on the rabbit cage. And then the stand is almost done. We ran into some lumber acquiring issues. I got some, and then I decided to make certain pieces, closer together than I planned, and I needed more, and it did not happen. The local stores didn't have what we wanted, and it was a lot of soaked lumber, which doesn't work for what we're doing. So we will make do, and we will finish that video as we go.
It's fine. It's completely functional. The rabbit stand still works, and cages can still be set on it. So it's not a huge hiccup in the project itself, but we'll just have to finish it later.
The idea you can see, like it'll be, to the finish as it is.
Yeah.
All right. Next step. Cages. That's what we're doing today. So, I'm all safetied up, ready to roll. It is the start of building the rabbit cages. I'm just getting everything trimmed up, all the pieces done, and it's just getting it prepped. I have my designs are pretty simple, so they're going to be like a lot of the standard cages that are built anywhere. 36 length, 30 wide, right? Yep, deep on 30, and then 18 inches tall. That's it. So nothing fancy. And then I got to build the stand that's going to go underneath it, and that is going to be to house about 4 of the cages. And so we're going to be, in essence, 12 feet long, but it'll be give or take a little bit extra on the edges, and then also 30 wide. But we're going to make it about 3 feet tall so that the cages are right there in front of us, easy access, easy to do what we need to. So yeah, that's going to be my next few days. That's going to be the party. But now cutting is a blast. And work on trying not to light my barn on fire. So that's also fun. But yeah, so that's the plan. Got nothing else special. Just cut and give you some. All right, got our cut. Problem was, I noticed on this one here, there's a lot of pieces of metal that were broken. So I cut this one because it's going to be something we can use for like I need doors and stuff like that, so I'm just gonna use it that way. But yeah, there's all little kinks in there that are all jacked up, so had to take that off. We'll use that. I mean, in reality, all I'm doing is stuff we've seen other people do, and things that we've just seen. We YouTube a lot, like everybody does anymore. So pretty much most of what I'm doing is I'm just coming in, I just cinch it down, C-clamp this bad boy. Technically this is our milking stand that we're going to use, but it's a great little table in the barn at the moment. So we're doing 36 inches like I said. All I do is measure out, and then I just run a nice little blue marker line across it, and I just cut on the outside part of that, because that part I can cinch off in between and just cut off the little pieces. So that'll give me my 36. The only thing I do run into, though, is that we are 36 inches also wide on our wire. What I'm going to end up doing is cutting it down the middle, do 18 inches on the one. Problem is that it's 18 and 18 technically, because it's 36 inches tall. So we're going to lose on the second cage, we're going to lose 1 inch. So in between those little pieces that are there, I'm pretty much just going to take in between. So let's say this one's 18, this whole piece is gone, so from here on over is only 17 inches. So we're gonna have one cage be 18 inches tall, the other one be 17 inches tall. Okay, I got all my panels done. So I have lots. Yeah. So we have the two sides that are 36 inches. So that's what we got here. So 36-inch ones here. Then I'm gonna cut in half. So like I said, 18 and 17 for the two different cages. Then these are the sides that are 30 inches. And same thing goes for that. Since it's 18 inches, there's going to be 2 of them are 18 and 2 are 17 once I cut them down the middle. So that'll be the other cage. And then these are floor and roof. So 2 each. And these also, once again, everything's 36 inches. I have to cut these down to 30 inches to match that. Alright guys, I'm on day 2 of this rabbit build here. Yeah, it's been testing. I did one for the most part besides the top, just to kind of see what I was looking at, and that was that 18-inch one. I'm probably gonna have you guys walk through the 17-inch cage just so you can see how it's done, but I had to get a hang of all these clips and how they're done and everything else. First one I've done, but also at the same time I ran out of battery, so that'll do it. But I had to get stuff done. You know, homestead life, you can't live off of battery life either. So I think I'm stacked today. I'll get you some video footage of me doing the second cage, putting it together. It was a little bit of a wrestling match. I do see a lot of people, to each his own, I will say, because there is, when you cut these, of course you have all the little pieces that stick up that are in between, you know, your marks. So like when I cut it, I have all the pieces that stick up that literally are just kind of there, that we're not going to use. But to me, they got in the way. They just kept hanging up, and plus we have kids, and so I don't want them. It's sharp, man. So I mean, I caught my clothes on it a couple times, and so I just took the tedious route, and I literally, with wire snips, went through and clipped every tiny little piece that was off, just off, and it feels a lot better. I mean, this is the other cage I was working on, and it's coming together. It looks pretty good, so I'm excited about that. But it's all these parts right here, like they're sticking out a little tiny bit, you can see, but, and then this is the normal factory edge, so it's not a huge difference between it. But I had to go through every single one of these and unclip them and go through every single one with wire snips. Alright, we're back at it, and I got my sidekick, the one and only Ashley. So we're getting this second cage done, the 17-inch one. So she is actually on it now, and she is helping me to do this and getting it done. So that clip goes on there. You gotta do, there's like this secondary clamp down. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Won't go?
No.
It's sitting. It'll go. I believe in you. She can do it. Man, it don't want to go, huh? Alright, it's all good.
I need man hands right now.
I think it's on there though. You don't need no man.
I did it.
Yeah, I told you. Man hands. She don't need that. Alright. So these little clips, I'm all over the place here. These tiny little, what are they called, J-hooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, J-hooks. So these guys, the pliers, there's special pliers that come with them, and it's a very simple process, but it is pretty awesome. Actually, now that I've done it, so she brings it on, hooks that bottom one underneath, and then starts to clamp down. And then it's easy to this point, and then there's like this weird sweet spot almost that literally is like a secondary clamp that you feel it finally give away and it goes all the way over. Otherwise you'll have it and it won't be fully on there, and they might slip out if you put any pressure on them.
You gotta have strong hands. Which I fortunately do have.
She does. So, okay, so we're gonna do the other panel. So those two were, that was our end and just one side. So 36 inch 30. We just laid them on each other, and then it made it easier to start that, you know, initial corner. So now you can just stand it up, get it on here, and just start corner to corner.
It's gonna work.
Because you're gonna want that over your wire more than the other.
Okay. You want to turn it around?
Yeah, I'm gonna get in here and help too. There you go. Clamp. The sides themselves, I usually would put on about 3 or 4. So one top, one bottom down here, and then I'm the clip guy, sorry about that. And then usually one in the middle, but if you want to space it, I'm doing 4 because I don't know, it just makes me feel better. Plus these J clips are not crazy expensive. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. Dealer's choice, babe. I started laughing. Those kids. Alright.
Sorry, the children keep interrupting us. Apparently there's a jaguar out there.
Yeah, scary jaguars. It's more of, hey, we want to just hang out with you.
Nope. They'll get a chance to do this here in just a second. We just want to teach you guys how to do it, and then they're going to come in here and do it off camera. All right. Bottom part's going to be a little bit more difficult. Bring it out.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. There you go.
Sweet spot crump.
That's all you do.
Ooh.
Ta-da!
So literally it's just piece by piece as I break things. Literally. That's what we do.
Super simple.
Yeah, it's not too hard.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Clip me.
Call me Clip Man. Hate to see what my superpower is.
It would be cool if they made these like magnetic. You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to get fancy now.
Just suggestions. Always feedback for improvement.
Whatever designers are out there listening.
Yeah.
$1 million invention right there. Magnetic J-clip pliers. If someone makes them, I want to kick back. Just saying.
I want the clip. I want the money, the royalties.
We're together. Whoa, you want to try to separate things here? Dang, already.
I did all the brain power.
You did, yeah. It's all yours.
You're funny. I share with you, I promise. All right. Last one, and we're gonna get this to go. This is a little bit awkward. Here we... Yeah, this one's hard.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ta-da! We did it.
Alright. Feel accomplished?
Yeah. All right.
Alright.
Now, it's the kids' turn, so
Yeah.
we'll show you what it looks like when we have more pieces put together.
Yeah. Yeah. So top itself, of course, as you're building it, it's going to be difficult to just balance it. Ain't going to happen. So we started on this corner. You can see, kind of came in 2 in, just because putting them right next to each other on the corner doesn't work very well. So have one here on this, and then one a little farther, kind of just space them out, has worked best. And then you just start pushing metal together and starting to piece them. It's about as tedious as it sounds.
Good tedious though.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Definitely worth it. It's hard to grab with my Costco gloves. Not really working gloves, but I do what I want.
Yeah.
I do what I want. All right. And soon enough, we'll have a bunch of beautiful rabbits. And our buck, Fufu, he will be very happy because he will finally have true love.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
We actually picked him up today, which he did not enjoy very much. We don't handle him very well, which no, you're supposed to. But Fufu came to us by surprise. He showed up one day in our chicken coop, in our duck coop,
Yep.
and he
At
hung
our old
around.
house.
Yeah, at our old house, and he lingered around for about a month, and then I finally got all of the supplies and things to keep him, so I caught him. But we pet him a lot. The kids give him his, special treats and things like that, and we feed him and things like that. But I've never actually sexed him, so I sexed him today. Me and Brian did, and he was kicking and things like that. But I got a hold of him and picked him up and flipped him over, and he was fine. Afterwards, he glared at me a lot, though. So, boom. Ta-da! Ta-da! I did it!
Professional.
Professional. Look what I can do.
Here.
With assistance.
Trust me, it helps.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Washington.
We actually all got outside today.
Yeah.
So, that's how you know you're true Washingtonian. As soon as it stops raining, even if it's cold and wet outside, we're like, we're going outside. And no one wears their hoods in Washington. Except Brian. But that's because Brian's from Arizona.
I'm bald, man.
Because he's
Wow.
bald.
You got like 4 pounds of hair up there, and I got a 0.
That's because it's all on your chin.
Yeah.
Your chinny chin chin.
I got that southern facing hair. You know?
Southern facing hair.
Yeah. Copyrighted.
You from the south.
Yeah.
You got that southern facing hair.
That southern facing hair.
That's how you know you're from the south.
Yeah. Alright, we're getting later. We're done. But I busted out my inner Gandalf. It's cold, man. It's getting chilly. So it is 17-inch is a square, rectangle. What are you gonna call it? Apparently I don't know my shapes. Rectangle. So this one is a 17-inch tall cage, 30 by 36, and it is done as a box at the moment. Same with our 18-inch one. So those are good. Now I just need to do doors on it, and that's pretty much it. I've seen other people do holes for like their water and their feed. We're actually just gonna do the metal bowls that go inside that clamp on, and just do it that way, so we don't have to make a bunch more cuts in our cages. So it'll be good. So, but the hole on the door, I'll show that. I'm gonna clip it out, and it's gonna be probably a 12 by 12 hole, because that's what our box is gonna be, is a 12 by 12. So I might make it a 13 by 13. So just a little bit bigger. But yeah, so that's what it's gonna be, so we can fit the nesting box in there. And then yeah, that's pretty much all. Everything else will fit through that hole. The door itself will be a little bit bigger, and I'll show all that process as we go here. Alright, so all I'm doing now is making a door. So I figured out that I need it to be 15 by 14, just because I want to give it an inch on each side on the top and bottom, and then also it's going to have an inch on the front. So 14 wide, 15 tall, pretty much as it is. So because you're going to connect it on the outside of the door, like right on the edge of the metal, and you have it overlap on the other side. So I'll show you that when I do it. Let's get this here. I'm marking on the ones that I'm actually going to cut before. So this is going to be my flat edge. So I am marking the ones I'm taking off. Then I know. Alright, finished product at the moment. We got our cage, of course standing on its side, but just to give you an idea. Door here, little spring-loaded bad boy. Oh, let go. Kind of hard with one hand. Alright, so I just have it connected right here on literally the end of the door and the actual, body frame as it is. And then it overlaps on the other side, like I said. So overlap, overlap, and then there's overlap up here. Once it pops open, we have this stripping. It's just kind of a poly strip. It has some adhesive on the inside that we just threw around the edges. It's not real high tech. Don't know how long it'll last, but it just makes us feel better with them being, sharp edges and stuff from cutting it. So we'll see how long it lasts. I mean, I don't know if the rabbits will chew on it or not, but at least it's something extra. Plus, for us to go in and out, we're not constantly trying to catch our clothes and stuff on it. So that's that. And I'm going to close her back up, pop that back on there, and throw this bad boy up. Oh, maybe. Let me sit you down. Bam. Oh. Good finish. Finished product. Looks good. I'm just doing those two. Down the road, we're going to have a lot more. I'm probably going to end up making, I don't know, I think we mapped out. There's going to be 4 cages on the stand total for now. And then I'm going to have another, we're going to have some breeding boxes and some ones on that part of it that's going to be longer cages too. And those ones will be, you know, we're gonna have 2 or 3 of those also, plus probably some more cages. So it's gonna be a big venture. But for now, 2 cages. I'm gonna build the stand, and then we potentially are shooting to get some for New Year's. There's a show we're gonna probably go to and see. So, you know, maybe exciting news coming forward. It's gonna be awesome. All right. Welcome back. Okay, so now we're on to our next project, which is our rabbit stand. So it is going to be for our rabbit cages. We only have 2. It's going to hold 4. But yeah, so it's the start of this bad boy. We're going to get that done and walk you through it all. The cages that we got, 1 and 2, 17 and 18 inch tall. All I need here is more rubber on this guy up here around the door. Other than that, all done. All of our other stuff's going inside, so it's going to be easy from there. But the other part of it is location. So our stand is temporarily going to go in the barn. Mentioned that before. It's going to be going here to here roughly. It's going to be 12 feet long, and then Fufu's got his little cage is going to go next to it. He's a little more secured in his cage because there's a lot of, you know, closed off spaces, so him being on the end where the main door is that's open, we'll feel that he'll be warmer, and that'll help protect the other guys.
Yeah, and
ladies.
We'll upgrade him and build his cage too, so he's not gonna stay in there. I have plans to probably modify that and turn it into a quail cage. So we just have to remove the plastic lining in the bottom that it has right now, and then put down a wired gauge at the bottom to staple it in, and it will be like a pan itself. So that will work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another project.
We'll figure it out.
That's what we do. So yeah. So we're going to walk through everything on our process on the actual stand. I'm trying to get her in here, and she just keeps wandering.
The wall. I just noticed.
I'm like panning over.
There's like pink stuff on the wall right here.
Yeah, there's like chalk and all kinds of stuff. I've seen the barn has been.
They're probably like,
yeah.
Yep, works.
We discover things every day. It's kind of funny how it all works. So, yeah. So I'll get set up and show you the process here. What I got going on. I started the legs. We're gonna have 6 total on it, 2 on the ends, and then 2 in the middle in the same spot. So they're 3 feet tall, which is going to be about waist high for both of us. And it works perfect because then another 18 inches or so is the cage, which is perfect for getting in and getting going. As I always say, we're not spring chickens, but we're not old hens. So, you know, we have to get in what we can. Yeah. So
we're chicken nuggets.
Oh. Nuggies. All right. That's pretty fun. All right. Now that that's over, let's get you rolling. See what we got happening. All right. So we got the last legs that I need to do. So my other 2 legs. 8-foot board. Do whatever you gotta do for whatever size, of course. I just don't want to buy, you know, a bunch of 4-foots to make 3-foots. That makes no sense in my reasoning. So about 8 foot, I'm gonna cut it 3 times. So I usually cut at the end at a very, very minuscule amount on the end to shave it off, just so I have my own flat edge and I know it's a flat edge compared to my saw. Some people leave it because it's factory edge and everything's fine. I don't know. I've seen some that are jacked up. It's from Home Depot, so you know, the wood isn't the greatest. I got chunks out of it and everything else. It's what they had, it's what I got. So we'll do that, and then I will measure 2 of them at 3 feet and cut those, and then we'll have 2 foot left over for whatever we want to do later. So give a run through and turn the hole. All right. Yeah, all right, now I'm gonna start on our tops. The plan is to have, it's 12 feet long, so I'm actually doing it with 8-foot boards too, because those 12 and 14-foot boards for 2x4s, they're just expensive. I don't know. They're just, it's almost, some of them were like 3 times as much. So I'm just going to piece it together this way and do pretty much 2 6-foot ones, and have it meet in the middle of that actual footer, which I'll show you. So pretty much each board's just gonna hit right in the middle of that, screw them in, and then I have brackets too that I'm gonna put on just for extra support. So it'll be nice. And then we're also gonna have a facing of 2x4s in the front, so it's gonna give us a nice little extra bit to it. So all right, here we go. Okay, so I got my 4 boards cut that I needed cut for the length. I gotta do the sides. I was figuring out my design and I made a modification because I was trying to figure it out in my head. My problem is I'm always like triple checking it, and I feel like I've gotten it right, and then all of a sudden I start to cut it and realize I was making a big mistake and my design didn't work. So the long boards are going to be 74 inches, so it's 6 foot 2 inches, mainly because of the way I'm going to place them on the feet. I'm actually going to just do, the feet are going to be all underneath the actual length of the table, of the stand, and then the side pieces are going to go in between, and I'm going to use those brackets to hook them to the 4x4s. So it just will make it better, and then I'm going to have the 2x4 that's kind of like that little skirt piece or whatever around it, and it just makes it seamless. So I like that design better. It'll look better, and we'll come together on this, see how we got it. So perfect, we're off and running. Woo! All right, so put the footers, like I said, are going to be on my long poles, or my the long pieces of this stand. So got that on there. I like to pre-drill holes. It just makes life easier. I mean, match up edges, and then, you know, sink your screws from there. I'm using 2.5 inch, just quick, they're deck screws pretty much. So it works great. They're for outdoors. You're never gonna have an issue. They're coated. They're 2.5. Some people might think I'm overkilling it because it sinks it farther. It feels safe to me. I've seen some people too drop in like 3 and 3.5 inch screws, but I don't need that. It's not going anywhere. So good there. My middle board though, it's gonna go in between the 2 pieces. I just take and, you know, of course they say they're 4x4 boards. Everything's milled down. It's actually 3.5 inches on each side. So in the middle of that 1 3/4, that's my center. I make my line because then I'm going to put my 2x4s on each side of that for that middle footer, and then that makes it easier that way because then I got, you know, my line. I know where I'm at. It'll be good. All right. Boom. Okay. So as you can see, I just went halfway in between. Oh, this guy's getting excited. So literally my line, it looks off right here, but that's just because that board itself was a little funky. It cuts in at that spot, so it is all even. Plus, like I said, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have that front board come along here and just kind of smooth that in, and it'll be another 2x4 in the front, so it just will make it look better. So I like it. That'll work. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna get you a good run through so you can see, you know, as I'm working and doing it, and then we're good to go from there. Cool. Sweet. Okay, story of my life today, battery issues, apparently. Put one in, thought it was good, failed on me. I didn't even know, that was my bad. So, apologize for the last little run through that you didn't see, but the stand is done for the most part. So, it looks good. I like it. Of course, I got to do some leveling in the ground, and then once Ashley is ready, she can come out and help me, and we're gonna move it over this way. I think more than likely I'm probably gonna put some bracers between the legs too, because they are kind of yeah, they move a little bit. They'll hold cages. They'll do fine. It'll do what we need to right now. But yeah, that's the plan. Other than that, everything else is good. It looks good. We plan on doing bins underneath, so that it'll catch all the manure, poop, pee, all that good stuff. And our plan is it'd be cool to make actual, like, just self-feeding worm bins in reality. And we'll throw some extra stuff in there here and there just to keep the worms happy. But yeah, I think that's the plan. Everything will just fall in and make our lives easier while creating good, awesome compost and worm castings. Would be cool. So, but that's down the road. We just need to get things going. This is the big step, so that's done. 2 cages are done. We do have one of those Do More cages that are pre-built, same size as the 30 by 36 by 18 tall. Yeah. So we bought one of those a little while ago, and then decided that we wanted to build our own instead of buy. And in retrospect, it is a lot cheaper to build, so it worked really well. So we're gonna keep going with this. Phone's ringing. Yeah, that's where that's at. Final touches. Not much to do. It's all pretty good to go. Besides, I'll put those bracers in here down the road. So, all right. So, measure out my 5, mark my spot. Bam. Measure out 5, mark the spot. Like so. Make sure nothing goes over the edge. Clamp them down. Drill a hole and throw a screw in it. That's about it. I just sink the screw enough so there's nothing coming out the top. Then you won't catch it on the cages or anything either, and makes life a little easier on that part, because you don't want that. Definitely don't want that. Alright. Bam. You don't have to do it with clamps, but I have figured out over time it is much easier, because then it doesn't go anywhere. It pretty much stays where you want it to, which is sweet. Okay, and just to make sure we're still on point here, 5s across the board. Yes, sir, and ma'ams.
All right, we made it to the end, and I just wanted to share what we used in our cages to put them together, and then also the items we used for the rabbits. So right here, we have one of our specific DIY builds. And in the cage we have the hay basket. The hay basket we sourced from Amazon. We do have an affiliate link we will share in our description box. So if there's anything in these cages that you want to get for yourself, you can shop for them there. The other things that we sourced specifically were the cage rings to open up the cage, the vinyl. It's an adhesive vinyl, so you just measure it, cut it, put it on, and you do that to protect yourself from the tips of the cages. You can snip it off, but it can be quite difficult to get it exactly right, so you can use this vinyl with the adhesive and stick it on. It helps protect your arms and your coat and the rabbits as you're pulling them out. They do sell plastic kind, but I couldn't find any at this time. The other thing that we sourced was the water bottles. Now, these aren't our favorite water bottles. They do leak, but they also do work. We just had got these in bulk for the budget that we had given ourselves when we were getting things ready. And then we have these metal dog carrier bowls. So they have a ring on them. And then you set the bowl in the inside, and then it tightens on the back right here, and it works really, really well. It's very sturdy. I recommend that you really plan out where you're going to set things, because it's kind of a pain to try to take it back off and then, of course, redo it all over again. And then the next thing we got was the resting mats. This is a 16 gauge 1/2 inch by 1 inch galvanized fencing material, but rabbits still need those resting mats. Especially in a bigger cage, I recommend putting in 2. That's very helpful and just gives them a nice place to take a rest and keep their little feet off of the wires. And then that was pretty much it. Oh yes, and then the J-rings I got off of Amazon as well. They're not very expensive. They come in like a pack of I think there's like 500. Is it 500 or is it less? I know they do like deals where you can get 2 bundles of them, so I'll have to double check and see how many of those we actually got. And then here are our little rabbits. So we got the little doe here. She is a Creme d'Argent or d'Argent. I can't even talk. D'Argent. I can't say it in an accent. Let's see if I can do it. D'Argent.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Well, if you come after me in the comments, I'll say whatever. Yeah. It's not my fluent language. So most people just call them d'Argents, but she is a Creme d'Argent, and she's about 9 months old. We did just try to breed her with another Creme d'Argent with a breeder that is mentoring us. It wasn't successful, so we're going to try again in the next week, and hopefully she'll be ready then. And then we have our little Buckling. He is 2 months old, and he is what they call a champagne. He is very sweet. We really like him a lot. And then we have our new girl. She is a champagne as well, and she's very sweet. She is
6 months.
6 months old, yes. So she's 6 months old. She is the sweetest as well. We have her in this Demore cage. We bought this as a temporary cage. We are using it right now until we have the other cages built, and then she'll go into the better cage. So this is a temporary cage. As you can tell, it's not of as good of quality. The bottom is, but we still put in the resting matches or resting mats, just to be on the sure side so she doesn't get any sore hocks. But it pretty much is set up the same. You do really need to reinforce it a little bit because they just have these hooks that hook on each other. But if she were to have the zoomies or something like that of that sort, she could possibly pop the cage open. So we just did this to keep it reinforced, so she stays safe in there until we have her cage completely built. Then we have the stand, and as you guys can see, it's not completely finished. It doesn't have the boards going across like it does on this other side. Well, Brian's getting some loves from the bunny. And you can see we have, these are 2x4s. No, they're not.
2x4 for the tabletop.
Yeah.
And then these are 2x2s.
2x2s.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
And then I did 4x4s for the legs. And yeah, it'll be finished the rest of the way with the 2x2s. And then I am going to brace these legs. They're pretty solid once I put the 2x2s across the top. But I am going to put brace of probably like 2x4s in between the legs themselves just to keep it that much sturdier, because they are 3 feet tall, so it's got a little bit of a wiggle to it, but it's sturdy. It's not going anywhere.
Now, some of you might wonder if these cages are too deep. It would probably be very difficult for most people to reach in there, but Brian and I are both of above average height, so it works for us. So we're able to do it. And then, you know, you can always use like an extension of your hand, something soft or something to kind of nudge a rabbit back to the front so you can get them. But these rabbits have been handled a lot, so they are more easy to get out and work with. The little doe, the cream doe, she's a little bit skittish, but she does like us, I will say, and she does like the children. She really likes our children a lot.
Loves the kids.
She loves kids. And this new girl, she loves the kids too. He likes the kids too. There's no complaint. And we're really excited. These rabbits are for our children and for our own experience. We will be processing meat rabbits, so we will be breeding these rabbits for home meat, including meat for our dogs. We have 3 Pomeranians, and we do feed them. We cook all of their homemade food, so I do a batch probably every 4 to 5 days. And then I've also freezed a lot of their treats and things like that that I've made. And then we also freeze dry them. So this is a process for us to get meat on our homestead and be more self-sufficient. I also really enjoy being part of this specific breed. This breed is more rare, and it would be really exciting to just be part of bringing that population, bringing that popularity in the breed back into the homesteading communities. They are a very nice rabbit. They're very docile compared to other breeds that most people are familiar with. They are also very good mothers, so that's a good thing. Rabbits tend to have a bad reputation of not being very good mothers or attentive mothers, I would say, but they're very good moms. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys to, you know, venture with our little project and little breeding program that we have going on here. And it's going to be exciting. And it's going to be exciting once we get little kits, little baby bunnies, because they are just so much fun to play with. And they're just absolutely adorable. They just fill your heart full. And they sound like little gremlins when they're in their kindling box and they're popping around like little popcorn. It's just absolutely adorable. Most people don't know what baby bunnies look like or what they sound like when they're just a few days old, so I'll be very excited to share that with you. So right now she's not going to be bred until probably close to March or April. That way we'll have our first kits in June, which is kind of a warm time, but they will do fine in this open barn until we have the other part of the rabbitry completed. And then the new girl, the Creme de-Argent girl, she will be bred hopefully by next week. If we don't get a successful breeding with our mentor, then I more than likely will bring another buck home, and that will be her companion buck. It may be just, she just needs to be where she's comfortable, and that happens. So, yeah, that's to end the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It's a new experience, and if you have any advice or any tips for us, we always welcome that. we do a lot of research before we begin projects, and we kind of, you know, do it with what we have, and we like to do a lot of DIY and kind of keep it on the less spendy side, if you will. But yeah, we're excited.